Ever Crisis, the Christmas banner review, TLDR, let's go. So I'm going to start by saying this with this video that I am not pulling on this banner for two reasons. Number one, I don't use either of these characters. My main squad is Aerith, Glenn, and Cloud. Number two is I find this banner to be very meh. However, I'm going to be giving you 100% of the information with the pros and the cons as to why you should or should not pull on this rather than just my opinion, so you don't walk away from this video with a 50% information biased look on the banner from what I've told you. I want to give you everything so you can make your own decision. First of all, both of these outfits look absolutely amazing and is probably the number one reason to be pulling on these banners. They are absolutely fantastic. I cannot wait to get my hands on these so that I can import them into the original Final Fantasy VII. It is going to be fantastic, which is a thing I do, by the way. But then we look at the actual stats for the outfit here. So we have 5 points in boost P attack, which is going to give us just 10% increase, which isn't exactly amazing, but it does also have the Frostblade Arcanum, which is a 35% increase to your ice damage. Now, pros for this are obviously that when you are fighting against ice-weak enemies, you are going to be god tier. You're going to be dealing so much damage, just like the Sephiroth ice stuff is. It's going to be amazing, and you're going to look damn good while you're doing it. However, there are some cons to this. The first con is this outfit does not contain HP, which means you are going to have to sacrifice a sub-weapon slot in order to get some HP, which in turn will weaken you. Might even weaken you so much that this 35% doesn't do all that much for you. That's very unlikely. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but you definitely lose some damage by having to have more HP. The second con that I can find for this is that if you already have the Sephiroth Frost stuff, you don't need this one. Because consider this, if you already have Sephiroth and you have this one as well, in order to put 100% of everything into both to make them god tier, by having all your weapons be ice-based to make that, the C ability or the R ability or whichever one it was, to the max level, you're going to need all ice weapons. Now, I don't know how many ice weapons there are in the game, or if you have them leveled, or if you've pulled them at 5-star, if they're all overboosted, whatever. It's very conditional. You are going to have to divide the amount of ice weapons you have now amongst 2 characters instead of just 1. And if you do that, you're dropping the bar of your power level from god tier, because one person has everything, you're dropping them to mid tier and then adding a second mid tier to it. It's a little bit of a waste when this could be god tier and this person could be doing literally anything else. So there is those kind of downsides, unfortunately. When it comes to the weapon, I'm not going to have an awful lot to say here. I personally think this is an exceptionally generic weapon. You know how there are weapons that were just in the game and they were never banner weapons? This doesn't feel better than those. In fact, I believe at 440% physical ice damage, it's on par with Cloud's Shiva ice weapon that you can just grind for free. Obviously, you don't get the ice potency, but you see my point there. It's going to have some P attack, it's going to have some boost ice potency. Where this really shines is the materia slots. P attack, and sigil boost is absolutely fantastic. But a con of this as well is that if this is not your absolute main weapon, these don't exist. So do with that as you will. But yeah, I don't see it being an absolutely game-changing, phenomenal weapon. However, there is a weapon you can combine this with. If I go to the crossover 4 banner, and I try on number 2, Tifa's weapon from the FF7 event would go beautifully with this. Not only is it some more physical attack as well, which is just nice, but it raises your own P attack by a potency of mid. So not only are you reasonably strong anyway, but you're getting the Ice Arcanum, which is boosting your ice damage, and then because it's physical, you're getting 2 ticks of physical increase as well. So you will absolutely wreck anything ice-based. Another potential con to the entire thing is simply that how many elements are in the game currently, how many elements might be added in the future. What are the chances that the enemy you are fighting are actually weak to the element that you are built for, whether that be ice, fire, earth, wind, whatever. If it's not weak to your element, you drop down to becoming mid from god tier once again. So they are very situational weapons. Then we move on to number 2. Again, Lucia looks absolutely phenomenal. Thank God she finally got an outfit on a banner. I believe she was the only one that hadn't until this point. Probably now they'll circle back around to Barret and Red 13 later. We'll see. When it comes to discussing this stuff, there's not that much to discuss because it's a carbon copy of Tifa's stuff. Except with one extra caveat. She is Earth-based instead of Ice-based. But the problem with it is the M attack. This is interesting for Lucia because she does have a magic attack build, but she doesn't really have a magic attack build, if you know what I mean. So, if I go down to Lucia's weapons, as far as I'm currently aware, the Bond Swallow is the only magic attack weapon you can stick in her second slot, so that you're getting 100% of that R ability to put you back up to the God tier level, which again adds to your conditionals, right? If you don't have this weapon at level 5-star, if you don't have it level 90'd, you gotta level 90 it. If you don't have it overboosted, whatever. Compared to literally all the other weapons that you might own for her, unless you have this weapon to go with it, you are still mid. But if you do have this weapon to go with it, it is a very nice weapon to have with it because it has the diamond sigil, and that can never be underrated. So that is just about everything when it comes to these two, but another thing I would like to note is there's definitely more than one banner coming, okay? We have until December 15th for this particular banner, but the Christmas event doesn't end until December 26th or 24th, one of the two, I forget. And in the story, we did get to see Aerith in her outfit as well, so there is definitely going to be another banner coming, and it's going to have more characters on it, most likely Aerith in that skin. So, definitely worth maybe waiting, seeing if another banner comes and overlaps with this one, because the crossover ones run out on December 8th, which will free up some of these spaces at the top here to allow for more Christmas banners to actually pop up. As for the potential of the Aerith stuff, I have no idea what it's going to be, because she already can do just about everything. It's probably an Arcanum of some kind as well. I don't know, but I am expecting it to be either God tier or terrible. We'll see when we get there, but nevertheless, if you like this video, please leave a like, leave a sub if you're not already, and I'll catch you in the next TLDR video.